Good morning, folks. We're back out at Dad's shop today. I'm going to be making another video out here. I'm going to be making a video on this old camp stove. I haven't done a camp stove video in a while. This is a Prentiss Wabers, or I'm not exactly sure how you say it, but I bought this last spring at a yard sale. I walked up and found this camp stove. Oh, and that thing is hard to open. Walked up and found this camp stove there and asked him what he wanted for it, and he said $5. And I opened it up just long enough to make sure that all the parts were in there. Closed it back up and brought it home, put it in the garage, and I have not done anything with it again until today. Okay, I'm already wrong. I thought it was a Prentiss. I was going off of what I remembered from last spring. It's a Preway. Model P452, maybe that says. The little bit that I can read on the sticker, boy, that's too bad that that's, ooh, yeah, and it just crunches right off. Too bad that's in such bad shape, but okay, it does say, it says Preway, then it says Prentiss Wabers, or Wabers, W-A-B-E-R-S, Prentiss Wabers Products Company, Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. So I was right saying it was a Prentiss stove. I thought that's what it was when I bought it last spring. But yeah, it's a shame that that sticker's such rough shape, but okay, we'll get in here a little closer. I grabbed it up from that guy. He said $5. I said, I'll take it. Brought it home, and I've done nothing with it since. It's kind of an odd little stove. It's tapered. I think I saw somebody online say that they called them a purse stove because it's kind of shaped like a purse. But I could be wrong. I have not even taken this out of there. Sounds dry, so that's good. It doesn't have old rotten fuel in it. It's got pump at that end. Oh, that's a neat little fuel cap at that end. But fortunately, it's not been setting full of fuel. Oh, there we can read. Model number P4521. It's kind of crusty inside and it won't stand up well. I'm gonna have to put the camera back on the tripod here. It's an awkward little stove. It does not stand up well. When you tip it forward, that falls down. But I'm guessing once everything's all clipped together, it'll set just fine. But it's not like a Coleman camp stove that sets nice and flat. It's a little crusty down at the bottom here. I think I'm gonna, as much as I hate to ruin that sticker, I think the first thing I'm gonna do, turn the air compressor on and hit it with a blowgun and blow a little bit of the rust and debris out of there, and then maybe I'll just spray a little bit of WD-40 down at the bottom to kind of coat where it's rusty and where there's bare metal. There we go. I even intentionally avoided spraying any of the air towards that sticker and still lost about half of what was left of it there. It's just flaking right off. But I think before I put it away, I've got some WD-40 at home that's just in a squeeze spray jug. I think before I put it away, I'll coat everything with some WD-40 in there. But for right now, I feel like my first step should be to see if this fuel tank will pump any pressure. Because if the pump's no good on the fuel tank, then we're dead in the water on this project right now. So this is kind of like Coleman has a little spring-loaded piece. Pop that out of there. Oh, well heck, that does not look too bad at all. I can't believe it even still has oil on it. Nice and soft. I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. Put it back in there and see if it'll pump up. I guess I didn't even try it. I didn't even check to see if it just would pump up, but I would have never ever guessed that there would still be oil in there. Well, that's really neat. Instead of having holes for the clip to go into, it just has a groove all the way around. I've never seen one like that. That's pretty cool. So you don't have to even line that up at all. You just put it back in there. Yeah, like I started saying, maybe I should have just tried pumping it up, but I would have never guessed that that oil or that pump leather would still have oil on it and look that good. There we go. Clips back in. That's a neat setup. Well, it's pumping air into it at least. I don't know if the camera can hear that, but I just opened the valve and it is hissing, so it's passing air through there. Okay, let's see if we can get this fuel cap off. You can definitely hear that it had built some pressure in there. Ooh, it smells like old gasoline instead of Coleman fuel. But it's bone dry, so there shouldn't be, like there wasn't fuel in there to turn rotten and gum everything up. Hopefully it just had the smell of it in there. The inside actually looks pretty good. Need to, let's see, I got fuel right here and a funnel. I don't need to put a whole lot of fuel in this. And this gallon is clear full. So I'm probably going to make a mess trying to dump this in there. Let's tip that a little bit. That should be more than enough to just try this thing out and see if it's going to work. That's a really neat cap. I'll have to do some research online and see if I can come up with about what year this is made. Okay, let's back the camera up a little bit here. I'll pump a little pressure in here. And the cap gasket appears to be holding. I don't see anything bubbling or leaking out around there. It doesn't seem when I cracked that small valve like it was gonna let any air pass through that. So what I'll do when I get this put together is I'll just try to preheat the generator on this a little bit and start it up coming right from the tank. Now this, I don't know, I would say that has to go in there. And then this has got kind of some odd little clips, definitely different than a Coleman camp stove, but little clips clip it on to the front right there. And then the little legs just go right around the handle and hold that handle down so that it can't fold and let the thing collapse down. So once it's all together, it all kind of locks itself in place. And then that sets right down into the groove of the bracket there. So it kind of all locks itself right into place once it's all in there. Wipe some of that debris out of there. And then these sides will come up and that's actually kind of neat too. The little side pieces come up and there's a little bracket that comes out there and stops it. And then you have to bend it past that a little bit so it's kind of spring loaded. Maybe you can see it better on this side. Comes up and that bracket hits here and you have to bend it out past there just a little bit, and this comes down and goes right into that hole. So your windbreak pieces clip in there. Once it's all together, it's actually pretty sturdy for as floppy as it was when it was just sitting there. I just real quickly kind of blew the air hose over those, but I didn't even blow it through that manifold or anything. I'm just gonna preheat the generator a little bit and try to light it up, see what it does. I don't even know how that valve works on here. Oh, I see, up and down. There we go. The second burner on here, you open and close that by going up and down with it, but I don't know which way is open and which way is closed. I guess we'll try to light the first one and we'll see what it does. I guess I could try getting a lighter in here and opening this little valve on the side, but it didn't seem like it was doing anything at all. So I feel like that tube might be plugged up. So I'm just gonna hold the flame underneath that generator for a minute. This little bit of flame probably is not enough to even hardly make any difference, but we'll just crack the big valve open. And when it lights, it's probably going to want to flare up for a while because I was not able to get it to light off of the vapors only, so we're starting out right on raw liquid fuel. But once it burns for a minute, that ought to tame down a little bit, and later on I can take this valve mechanism apart and get that working so that it'll start on just the pressurized air vapors out of the top of the tank, and then be able to switch it over to the liquid fuel in the bottom of the tank. Well, it is burning, but it's definitely not really burning like I would expect it to. Let's see what this side does. Side lights right up too. We'll give it a minute longer to warm up. It seems like it's getting a little better here. That probably would have went a lot smoother had I gone ahead and taken this apart and gotten this little valve over here. Should pick up just the vapors from the top of the tank, and then after it's burning and got that generator preheated, then you should be able to open the big valve, close the small one. But yeah, it looks like it's burning pretty nice now. That's pretty neat. That's a lot different than a Coleman brand. You just push that down to light it. If you're not using it, it'll slide in there. But lights right up and burns real nice. Alright, I'm going to pause this for a minute and go get some water, because I brought out my kettle. We're going to make a pot of coffee here. Okay, I don't need both burners going, so I'll shut that one back off. And oh wow, that really, it opened up. It's got a lot of flame, that's for sure. I'll set the kettle on top of there. There we go. I just adjusted that a little bit. Now it's burning a lot nicer. Nice pretty blue flame. I don't know if I can get the camera down low and you can see right in under there. Burning a real nice flame now. Scoot that back just a little bit. Second burner's smoking a little, but I'm sure it's got years and years worth of dust and crud and everything on it. I got this old drip coffee pot that I'm going to use to make a pot of coffee with it. I need to go back and clean it up, I guess. It's been up on top of the cupboards in our kitchen. But this coffee pot, anybody from around my local area around here, my sister Sarah has told me that all the residents at the Colonial Manor have been watching my videos as part of an activity for the last few weeks, so everyone up there will definitely know. This coffee pot I bought when Orr Electric was going out of business in the early 2000s, I would say. My guess would be probably 2002, 2003 is when they went out of business, and this coffee pot was on the shelf down there. They also had a Coleman lantern on the shelf down there that I was going to buy, and I was waiting until I got my next paycheck, and when I did, I went back down there and it had already sold, but I'm guessing it was probably at least 20 years old, but still new in the box, sitting on the shelf down there, and someone else got to it before I did. So I'm going to take this coffee pot back and clean it up a little bit while the water's heating up on there. I'm just starting to get a little wisp of steam out the vent on the tea kettle. So I'm guessing we're gonna have a tea kettle whistling here in just a minute. Dad's already getting coffee cups. He's anticipating this coffee already.
There's one right there.
Yeah, that's mine. Leave it alone.
Oh.
So yeah, I think we're probably just another minute or so away from having our water boiling and the tea kettle whistling here.
Help us start.
Yep. Well, our tea kettle's whistling, but it's not whistling very good. It looks like it's losing some vapors out the side over here. It doesn't have a great seal, but it's whistling and you can see the steam coming out, so we know we got water boiling in there. That'll be good enough to make some coffee. And I like to use the old drip style coffee pots when we're camping. So I bought this one and I used it for a while camping, but then I bought a little bit larger one because this didn't make enough to fill up my coffee cup and have a thermos full of coffee too. Put a little coffee in there. It should be close to the right amount. And put the top on here. Fill that up and wait for the water to drip through there and make some coffee. I'm not sure if the camera can hear it, but I can hear it trickling through there. Sounds like it's running pretty good. It's not going to take too long to run through there. You get hard water buildup on these old drip pots and the holes plug up, and then it takes a half hour for the water to drip through and make your pot of coffee for you. Oh, it's not running through too fast. It's still only about an inch down from the top. So we'll give that a few minutes to drip through and make some coffee. Yeah, it's getting there. There's still about another ½ inch of water to drip through there. Well, I don't hear any more dripping coming from the coffee pot. It looks like it's pretty dry. So
Probably hot.
it probably is. Not that terribly hot. But I'll bet the part with the grounds in it is. The coffee looks like coffee. Smells pretty good. I got my coffee cup here and Dad's got the coffee cup, so we'll take a look and see what it looks like. My coffee cup was still had a little bit of cold coffee in it to cool it down, but this is going to be scalding hot for a while. Dad's going to have to wait a few minutes to drink his. There we go. Lid didn't want to go on straight. It's not bad. Pretty good coffee.
Tastes better cooked on an antique stove.
Yeah. It always tastes different in these old aluminum drip pots too. You just get a little bit different flavor than you do out of a modern coffee pot. It's probably aluminum seeping into your coffee or something, but whatever. It makes a good tasting pot of coffee. And the old Preway stove, everything on it worked just like it was supposed to after sitting for who knows how many years. Could have been decades. Pumped right up, everything worked just like it was supposed to. Did a good job. I'm going to take it home now, and before I put it away I'm going to spray down all these rusty spots with a little bit of WD-40 and then wipe all the excess off so that they don't get any rustier than they are right now, and put it up on the shelf where I can keep it safe, and maybe, I don't know what I'll do with it in the future. Probably just sit on the shelf like all the rest of our camp stoves. But thanks for watching. If you haven't already hit the like and the subscribe button, please do so. It helps out. YouTube likes it when you like the video or leave a comment. Come on back next week. We'll have a video of something for you to watch here. Thanks for watching.